Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. In this evening's edition of A Ray of Hope, the story of how a bereaved mother was able to find solace after her child was murdered. Here's Kayan Morgan.
You have to make a decision that you want to go on.
Words of self-encouragement from a grieving mother, Lauren Jones Lawrence. Her son, Andre, died over a decade ago. But the memories are still fresh and the pain still real.
He had this real passion for music, and the last time I spoke to him, he was actually going to enter Magnum Kings and Queens, and he was very excited.
Sadly, Andre did not get a chance to actualize his dreams after losing his life in 2009. He was her only child.
That had always been my greatest fear, the loss of if something ever happened to my son, and then it did.
Ironically, Mrs. Lawrence was a grief counselor for years. She worked with bereaved children. But when the tables turned, she found it difficult to cope.
I thought to myself, I didn't need help because I know grief, and so like the day after the funeral, I'm back up and, and preppy. And I think one of the things is I didn't want people to feel sorry for me.
However, 3 months later, the band-aid eventually fell off. It was then she realized she had to face her fears.
After a while, I realized this is such a monumental event in my life. I need to really go contemplate it.
Understanding how to cope took years, but it was finding ways how to, which helped her to get there.
There are different things you can do, music, movement, journaling.
And documenting from a level of expertise and first-hand experience, Mrs. Lawrence was able to create a book aimed at helping bereaved parents cope.
The real hope is that at some point you can remember something funny that they did. And so after a while, it becomes part of you, so you never really lose that part of them.
She says while one won't forget, the pain will dull over time. Mrs. Lawrence says moving on starts with giving one's self permission to grieve.
The very first step is you have to, with all the pain and with everything, you have to tell yourself that this isn't going to kill you. You're going to go on and you have to find a reason.
With A Ray of Hope, I'm Kayan Morgan.